Love your enemies. Love those who persecute you. Love those who hurt you. Love those who steal from you. Like those words are resonating me with me more and more every day. And I used to never take them seriously. And I'm not saying I'm a Christian or anything, but like now it's clicking with me what Christ was saying. And I learned this from my years of MMA and coaching, honestly, in the gym. And the reason why I'm saying love your enemies as you should, because your enemies push you through life. Your enemies always tell you the truth compared to your friend. And I'm not saying your friends are bad people and your enemies are almost good people. What I'm trying to say is your friends sugarcoat things. They don't want to hurt your feelings. You know, they obviously they want to see you do well. They don't want to put you in a negative headspace, right? But enemies don't care. This is why they're so valuable. Like I think Napoleon Bonaparte, to quote him, he said, "Never interrupt your enemy when he's making a mistake." And I can tell you, plenty of people in my life have made that mistake. And again, like these words are just clicking with. I've read these things over and over and over again. Like I love these quotes from these great people because now it's really sticking with me. And like I remember, like give you a little bit of a story. When I worked at the gym, yeah, I worked at an MMA gym for maybe like 5 years, and I started out cleaning floors. You know, that's the only reason why I was in there. But I actually worked my way up. Surprisingly, I should have never gone as far as I did. Honestly, you know, I was just there to mop floors. You know, that's how I got my foot in the door. But when I actually started coaching, I mean, I think my manager and my boss now, he was one of my enemies because I realized he wasn't looking out for me. He was just using me to just mop floors at the gym. Like, he didn't care. He didn't care about. I mean, at the time I didn't have much experience. I knew a lot. I was a good fighter. I weight trained. I looked the part, you know. But he just, I guess he was just looking for another salesman like himself, right? And I'm not saying sales is bad, but I think you know what I'm saying. Like a lot of personal training now is just more of what what can I say? You're kind of like entertaining the client, making them think they went through a good workout. That's more important than getting the result. Because when you sign up for a gym, you're not there, hey, I'm going to lose 20 pounds and this and that. Like they don't have a proper offer. It's just like, okay, we're going to be doing this for a year and hopefully something happens to you, right? And it's a really bad training model. This is why I got out of it. But this guy, I want to thank him. You know, especially if he ever sees this one day. I really want to thank him. I really have a lot of gratitude from the bottom of my heart because he made me a better trainer. And it's not in the way you think that I'm going to talk about it. But he made me the trainer I am today because this guy would always, every time I made a mistake, I slipped up. I would train children in all the martial art, wrestling, boxing, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, kickboxing. And I did the same thing for the adults and everybody else. And I taught classes. And he'd always jump in and honestly kind of humiliate me. He would he'd bring up every wrong thing I ever did. And I was very grateful for it. I mean, even though it was kind of embarrassing at the time, but I have thick skin and I can handle it. But I knew at the time this guy's not my friend. Again, I put him in the category of enemy, and he was because every time I did something right, he acted like he didn't even see it. He acted like it didn't exist, or if anything, I could see a look of disgust on his face when I actually get, you know, I wanted some positive feedback from him, right? But I knew it wasn't gonna happen. But he did give me plenty of negative feedback, which is just as powerful. So I knew every time when I messed up, he would be running across the room telling me about it, or saying something, or making a comment that I have to do better, which I greatly appreciate. Because, like, at the time, I didn't have money for coaching of any kind to be a better trainer. I did everything by myself. And when I say that, I'm not proud of that. I'm actually, I mean, my life was very hard because of that. I mean, this is why I became a coach. This is why I became a trainer. Because I want to help other people. I want to give other people a shortcut. They don't have to go through the gauntlet like I did, right? They don't have to go through trial and error and go through all this drama, you know, that I'm bringing up right now. Because it's pretty toxic. But I use that negativity, I use that toxicity of that situation, and it pushed me forward. Tenfold, I would say. But a lot of people don't even get past this. Maybe they just quit. Maybe they just, you know, they're like, oh, this isn't for me or this or that. Like, people can only take so much. I realize I'm a different type of person because a lot of people wouldn't deal with half the things that I've dealt with in my life. But I realize it's paying me dividends down the road. You know, a lot of these experiences I thought were horrible experiences, But now I'm like, well, since I'm getting I'm actually getting the dividends from these experiences. I actually, I actually believe this is working for me. But this guy, like, he would always be watching me, like, across the room. I mean, like, there's more people in the gym too, honestly. But he would always be watching me, and then I realized I was becoming a better trainer because I wasn't getting the positive reinforcement, which was confusing because I didn't know if I was getting better. But I knew I wasn't getting yelled at. I knew, you know, a teacher, they wouldn't bring another teacher to come over and they would help me out, or he would come over and take over the class, or this or that or whatever. So all I knew was, as positive reinforcement, his silence was the best thing. His silence made me realize I was doing something right because he was ready to jump in any time. I mean, rarely got compliments. I could barely think of any, right? And if they were really backhanded too. But I just never got help from anybody, especially from this guy in general, and it just blew me away because I realized, people want to see you doing good but not better than them, right? But like, it really pushed me forward. So I realized, okay, I'm in this situation. I'm kind of stuck here. There's some things I want to achieve here before I go somewhere else. Yeah, let's use this situation. Let's milk this situation for everything it has. And that's what I did in this situation. And I was using my enemies to teach me, to learn from me. And I say you guys do the same thing because when I was younger, I couldn't afford coaching. Now I've done a lot more coaching. I've really improved in all areas of my life. I mean, not just fitness or my business or anything, but all areas of my life. I'm a coach. I should have multiple coaches, right? And I also learn from them. But not like, oh man, I really just had this epiphany today, honestly. But I was using this guy to push me in the right direction, and I became a phenomenal coach. I became a fantastic coach. Like in the kids' classes, the parents would always ask me all the time, like, how many kids do you have? I'm like, I have none. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Why are you so good with them? Like, why it's almost instinctual. I'm like, I'm not a father. I'm like, and that kind of scared me too because like I've got no experience, and I'm not gonna say I'm the best with kids. But hearing that, or I even talk to other people, they think I've been coaching for years. My credentials are a lot bigger and longer than they should be. And that's when I realized I was doing something right. That was the positive feedback I was getting, which I needed. Which, yeah, I really did need it because, like, you can only take so much over time. But I'm paying the dividends for it now. It made me a great trainer because, like, people could see, like, this is the problem with the workplace and your employer. I mean, they're just there to get money from you. They don't care about your actual growth, you as a human being or anything. They don't care. They'll fire you in a second. I mean, like plenty of jobs. This job in particular, but plenty of jobs have told me this. Like everybody's replaceable, right? And like, why do they care? They'll just get another me coming through the door. And yeah, that's cool. Go ahead. But I mean, you will never find anybody like me, right? But you know, going back to the NPC thing. Nah, but oh my god, is I'm just lost for words. It just hit me so hard this morning. I had to make this video. But and from that lesson, I took it even further. In MMA training, because no one tells you, like, even with MMA, my coaches weren't looking at me. They were watching the guys getting ready for fights and everything. I mean, this is a whole nother story. But the same thing happening. I'm like, I can't get better without a coach. This is why I came to this gym. Because I used to fight on my own and I had no coach, and that was a disaster. Like, you can't be the fighter and the coach. You need to outsource that to someone else. But I still wasn't getting that in the gym filled with other fighters and coaches. So what I did was, every time I got rocked, every time I got submitted in jiu-jitsu, every time someone got a good kick on me, every time someone landed a fantastic technique on me, I would have asked them immediately after, how'd you do that? What led you up there? What mistake did I make? And people, and you see what I'm doing right here, because a lot of people, they don't want to help you, but it's different in martial arts. Because people are like, oh, of course I'm going to tell you how I concussed you. Or of course I'm going to tell you how I broke your arm or your leg or whatever. They love doing that. They love talking. They love hearing themselves. They love being the center of attention, right? Like, because there's big egos in fighting. And I would always do that to get help. And my game went through the roof because I was humble. I didn't care. Again, I have thick skin. I'm learning because if you're submitting me, you're probably better than me. You're concussing me, you're probably better than me. I want to learn as quickly as possible so that doesn't happen again. And it's my body most of all. So yeah, I dropped my ego, decided to be humble, and I did that every time. And my game went through the roof. For you martial artists out there, do the same thing. And everything else in life, business or whatever endeavor you're in, take the same approach because people love talking about themselves. Get them to start talking. I learned this from How to Win Friends and Influence People. Just get the person talking, and eventually you'll make a friend at the end of the day. And again, is he really your enemy if you became your friend? Abraham Lincoln right there. But seriously, just keep on, like, drop your ego because we're here to learn. Like, I really believe the man with the least amount of ego, the most humble man in the room, is going to learn the most, because this isn't time for ego. We're not here, like, this isn't competition mode. This isn't like, we're not in the game. People are so afraid. People are so afraid. Like, people's egos are so big. Just drop the ego. This is, get those dividends later. You can have an ego later on. After you get better, you can actually have something real in your life, something of substance. So I'm telling you guys, use your enemies. Your enemies are there for you. Again, like, what would your enemy, I mean, think about throughout history. I mean, Alexander, Darius, Julius Caesar, Pompey, Brutus. I mean, all these guys, their enemies made them because they wouldn't be as big as they are without their enemies. That's the biggest mountain you could defeat right there. And especially if you can make them your friend. That's the biggest defeat of all. So I'm telling you, use the negative people, the toxic people in your life. They're there for a reason. Don't think this is a hindrance for my life. This is an obstacle that needs to be removed. Now you're being ungrateful. You see this frequency? This is a different mindset right now. This is a way different way of looking at life in the world. These people, you work through these people. You don't work around these people. They're there for you. And I was in a gym full of fighters, honestly. I worked with the people that I sparred later that day. Hell, some of these guys injured me outside of practice when I didn't expect it. Right? I actually worked in a very dangerous environment, but because of this, I could work in any environment. I mean, honestly, what's the worst environment that I worked in? Maybe law enforcement. Maybe if I was in the military. Maybe I don't know. I mean, like, come on. I mean, like, my coworkers were day to day trying to injure me, and it was perfectly legal. With the but in between between rounds and just training in general. So I'm telling you, like what a blessing. Like, especially if my enemies are watching this, what a I'm really grateful from the bottom of my heart for you people. Like, you really made me who I am. I really had a lot of regret and ungratefulness for you people, but you made me who I am. You really made me into the man I am today. Man, I'm just so grateful. It's just like, see, I'm older now. Maybe this is why I'm talking like this, but for you younger guys, I'm telling you, these people that you hate, that you want to get away from, that you have grudges, that you want to get revenge against, you're going to be thanking them later in life. And now I'm like, and it makes me, I'm not even afraid of anybody. I'm even less. I mean, all the cheap shots I've taken, the insults, this and that, all these people have pushed me further. They made me tougher as a person. I gained new skills and knowledge because of these people. I can't state it enough. It blows my mind. And I just had to make this video because it just hit me all today. I'm so grateful for all these negative experiences, all these toxic situations. And please, I want you guys, I hope you're watching through the whole video. I want you guys to do this with everything else in your life, with women, family, business, MMA, if you're, sports, whatever you're doing. Please, I want you to be grateful for all the people in your life, for the bad and good, and most of all, the worst. But I just want to express that. I just I just want to tell you guys about my situation because it just hit me hard, and I hope you're having the same epiphany as me after watching this video. But I greatly appreciate it. If you watched the whole thing, click the link in my bio, or click the link. Follow me on Instagram. Actually, DM me right there. I got a link. You could set up a call with me, whatever you want. I like to be face to face, and we can actually maybe FaceTime, or I could just send you guys audio messages. But tell me what's going on, because this is a huge part of your health. Because I have a holistic approach to training, and this is a big part of it, because you need to use the people in your life to get further. And I really believe this with your health and fitness, because it goes a lot deeper with that. And I want to help you guys. But thank you. Appreciate everything. Give it a like, subscribe, share it to a friend, and take it easy, guys.